What's happening, everyone? It's Abdallah here, bringing you guys a condensed version and analysis of the Animal Crossing Direct that happened not too long ago. During this video, we're going to go through the entire Direct in 2x speed, and I'm going to show you guys everything that you may have missed. So, strap in, it's going to be pretty awesome. As usual, if you guys enjoy Animal Crossing content and are looking forward to some awesome New Horizons gameplay as soon as the game comes out, be sure to subscribe. Alright, here we go. So, if you guys have missed the Direct, Tom Nook comes over here and he's all talking about exactly what is going on in the previous builds of the game that we've seen so far. He divides the entire Direct into 3 different parts. Things that we've already been revealed, some new things, and then of course some frequently asked questions that are soon to be found out are not necessarily frequently asked questions, because we are left with a lot of unanswered questions in this Direct. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So, at the speeds over here, this is stuff that we've already seen before. Some new elements of Animal Crossing, such as knocking into a tree and then getting some wood out of it that you can use for crafting materials. Yes, Minecraft has been shoved into Animal Crossing. A lot of people are upset about that, but I'm okay. We'll get used to it, right? We'll absolutely get used to it. And hey, it's just another way to get materials to make axes and then sell those axes for bells. It's just another way of making bells. So as you guys can see over here, you can pick and choose from 4 different layouts, and they did show us that you can indeed choose which hemisphere you're going to be a part of, so that your seasons align with whatever month you're currently in. So if you guys are time traveling for other different games on your Nintendo Switch, I highly suggest you time travel back to whatever your current date is, so that you can keep up with the times. We'll get into more about time traveling later. But anyway, the game looks pretty beautiful. There's a lot of things that you can pick up off the ground. You can make stuff everywhere. It's just really, really well done, and I'm very happy about that. Snowmen you can make, Aurora Borealis. The graphics look amazing, and it's really treading the fine line between real life and Animal Crossing, which I think is really fun. So anyway, this is the new resident orientation. You're going to be able to come over here and talk to everyone, and they're going to show you that you get your very own tent. And once you have said tent, you can place it anywhere on the map, regardless of if there's a tree, so obviously you can put it there. And you're going to have a small set amount of villagers where you can indeed choose where your villagers are going to be at. I would highly suggest keeping them all maybe in a cluster, like a little community area, because you're going to want to talk to them at least once a day. More on that a little bit later. So this is resident services. You guys can see that you now have access to selling things, and you can sell weeds here. Check this out. For 280 bells, a clump of weeds. So now that gives you even more information of like why you'd want to pick weeds, because you can sell them. Now right over here is a workbench that you can pretty much learn how to do different things. In the workbench you can create all sorts of new things, and that's going to be interesting because you guys have rocks, you have different materials, and you can pretty much make everything provided you know the recipe for it. So that's great. Customization is pretty great too, in case you have a specific pattern that you want. You can upload a custom design to it, and then it'll be exactly that pattern, and you can put it anywhere. So it's going to make things even more customizable. And patterns did get a cool makeover in this game, and we'll talk about that later. Anyway, facilities over here, this is going to be the spot where you're going to be able to travel from different places. So you can do visit some online islands. As you guys can see, you can open up your gates to a whole bunch of people, and in this game it supports 8 people from far away in order to play into your town. Of course, you can do some selfies, take some pictures to remember them by. Now, postcards are still a thing. You can absolutely message a particular character in your town with a postcard, and you can attach any kind of item to it. Feel free to troll your animals as much as you want. Here's a clump of weeds. You're my favorite animal. Not. Enjoy. Anyway, so right over here, this is where you're going to set up your tent. Your tent is going to be what you're going to start out with in the Animal Crossing series. Now, of course, you will be also given a Nook phone. The Nook phone has a couple different apps that you guys can use, such as camera, recipes, passport map, custom designs. And we'll get more into that in a little bit. So that is island-wide broadcast. So once a day, Tom Nook will actually talk and say what's going on for the day, which is pretty cool. So in case you're wondering what's happening, he'll be able to tell you all about that. So Nook Miles is an app on here, and with Nook Miles, I'll pause it for a quick second, you're going to get rewarded with a Nook mileage points every time you do something interesting in the game. For example, right over here, if you talk to all your neighbors every day, you'll be rewarded with a particular stamp, which you can exchange for even more miles, which is another form of currency in Animal Crossing New Horizons, other than bells. And you'll be using those miles for a lot of different things. So previously they showed that there was you can do some fishing for some miles. You can do catching bugs for miles. Talking to all your different islanders for miles. Does it have a nice DIY? Maybe make some DIY stuff, DIY tools, crafting them for miles. So there's a whole bunch of like in-game stuff that you guys can absolutely do. So you get rewarded for playing the game. I think that's really awesome. So catching 10 fish, talking to all your animals, catching 10 bugs, and you'll be able to get these miles. Okay, so now once you have these miles, you can go to the Nook Shop right over here, and you can redeem them. And you can go Nook Shoppings, or you can do the automated bell depositor. So right over here in this specific spot is where you can redeem the custom miles that you have. This in-game character has 4,300. You can see that you can get all sorts of different shirts, some branded Nook wear. So you can be 100% branded in Nook if you wanted to. And then there's going to be, there's specials. Now, you'll notice over here that the Nook Miles ticket is about 2,000, so keep that in mind because we're going to talk about the Nook Miles ticket a little bit later. But there's also some more expensive things, such as the Pretty Good Tools recipe, the Pocket Organization Guide, and then all these top hairstyles and stuff like that. So if you like spending or saving your stuff for it, go for it. That's pretty interesting. So very excited about that. As you guys can see over here, you can do a fast option of choosing whatever kind of item you want, which is great. I know that was kind of like that with the hot bar in the previous iteration of Animal Crossing. So very, very excited that it's very user friendly. So they fixed a lot of quality of life things. So this is also saying that you can indeed get stung by a bee and or wasps. And I guess if you get stung twice, you can straight die in the game, which is interesting. And then it like loops out, and then you're out. I don't know if you guys caught that, but you get stung by wasps, or if it happens again, you die. Now, we don't know what happens when you die. Obviously, it's not a game over, and you're not going to start your town from scratch, but you can buy some medicine at the little shop over here, and that's going to rectify your little bloated face. But I think it's interesting that you can like pass out or die. Anyway, little Wisp is over here. Some little crazy things can happen at night, so that's interesting that Wisp is brought in. We got Gulliver sighting over here, and as we know from previous Animal Crossing games, Gulliver, you just talk to him if he randomly washes up at the shore, and he'll give you a pretty rare item. So very excited to see him there. I'm curious to see if any UFOs are there. This is one of the things that I do want to show you guys that you may have missed. This is called the Animal Rescue. And if you're ever feeling lost in the area and you want to be fast traveled anywhere, fast travel home, fast travel to the markets or the towns or any of these houses, you can use this option. Now, if you pay attention to the top corner, he's got 1,200 bells. And as soon as you use this rescue service, which is like a fast travel, it's going to cost you, or not bells, I'm sorry, miles. It's going to cost you 500 Nook Miles in order to do that. So that's really crazy. Anyway, so keep that in mind. Just know your surroundings. I wouldn't ever use the thing because that's 500, man. I'd rather buy like a Nook shirt than that. Okay, optional extras included. There are some other things that are happening in the game. Optional extra number 1 is, drumroll please, let's see. Oh yes, that's right. The homes are back. Yes, this is my favorite part. So the new loan starts at 98,000 bells, and you don't ever have to pay it back unless you want to like improve on your house. So this is like Animal Crossing, the very first one, way back in the day, where you can do full customization. This is even more customizable than it was before. You can rotate around like Happy Home Designer. You can click and drag and put stuff places, and you can move things on the walls and move it accordingly, and you could take some pictures. This is really great. But not only that, but if you pay these loans off and off and off, you're going to get wider rooms, and rooms in the side, rooms in the back, rooms in the front, all sorts of cool stuff. And they haven't mentioned anything about the potential basements or upper floors. So I'm really excited to see how that gets panned out. Anyway, miles tickets. So remember we talked about the miles tickets that were relatively expensive from the Nook area over there. So you spend those for these and their island tours. So kind of like Tortimer tours in Animal Crossing New Leaf, you get sent to this one island and you can pretty much destroy it. You can do whatever you want. You can go fishing, you can catch bugs on it, you can grab everything and bring it back with you. so that you can indeed make a lot of money. And this guy's like hitting rocks for money. You could find rare tarantulas that don't swim. So yeah, that's really interesting there. So this one's another point that says that if you do have a whole bunch of people on your singular Nintendo Switch, you can indeed all play at the same time. 4 people can play at the same time on one screen. You guys can see that one person's the leader and the other 3 is the followers. So the leader kind of moves the camera, and the camera focuses on that person, whereas the other ones can indeed just kind of hang around. So it's great for kids and parents who want to play along with. So very exciting. Timmy and Tommy's shop is over there. It's been revealed that he buys and sells stuff, and whatever your teammates end up collecting, you can get it in that bin. So right over here, this is the Nintendo Switch Online Services app on your smartphone. Now, what's great about this, and I don't know if you guys realize this, but you can take any kinds of patterns from the previous Animal Crossing games, especially the 3DS version, and you can scan it with your phone and then have that pattern that you can use in the brand new Animal Crossing. That is life-changing, man. That's so cool. So you can bring a pattern that you worked on for a long time ago in the previous games and bring it all the way over. And I know that there's different sites where you can upload an image and it'll give you like the pixel variants of it and you can make your own. So you can make your own stuff, share your QR codes with your friends, and then go from there. It is awesome. But not only that, this app allows you to do some quick text messaging. So in case you have a chat keyboard, you can do like type in "yay full moon" and then it'll actually show up in game, which is really cool. And then of course you can use voice chat if you don't already use Discord. So that's kind of cool. So I think that's amazing. It says the service begins March in 2020. I don't think it's going to be at launch because it doesn't say March 20th of 2020. So it'll probably be, I don't know, maybe at the end of March, and then they just launch it. So excited about the custom QR codes. I hope that you guys are excited too, because that's a really cool part about Animal Crossing. So that was entirely part 1. We're gonna move on to part 2 over here, and we're gonna talk to you guys about that. It's a fun time, man. Part 2 is really good because now it shows a lot of the new juicy details that we've been wondering about. So if you guys are curious about the new residents in your game, you can absolutely recruit any of the residents, right? So if you guys want them to, you can take a look over at Tom Nook. There's 3 interested people, and then you can actually say, hey, you know what? Let's actually bring them on board. So Keaton over here, you're going to say, come to my island, and he's going to do it. And that's awesome. Now, the other additional facilities are planned. This is real good. Okay, so what you're going to do, you can talk to Blathers. He's confirmed in the game. You can look at the site, but it doesn't show anything over here. And then you can give him all of your stuff just like in previous. You can give him your great white shark that you've caught. You can give him the fossils that you found or any of the butterflies or bugs. You can give them, and then this entire museum looks insanely realistic. Like all these sharks here, it looks so good. I won't slow motion it, but you guys can watch the direct and see just how crazy cool this is. So anyway, you can go to the shop. You can also buy some items that you might not find anywhere else. The Able sisters are here that sell their own patterns. And then you can indeed invite a whole bunch of people over there. So dude, the museum is probably the part that I'm really, really excited for. So you try in some fashion, you can buy some more stuff. That's interesting. It's all copy paste from the previous games. That's perfectly fine. Planned resident services expansion is fun simply because you can go to the town hall now. And you go to the town hall and you can customize your entire lots and everything. You can move the shop anywhere you want. You can go talk to Isabelle, and Isabelle is going to hold the exact same role as she did in the previous game, where you can change the flag, the tune, evaluate the entire town. And yeah, Isabelle will also allow you to do a whole bunch of other stuff, but soon. Anyway, so all these other characters are coming. They'll show you that they're here. There's a magic wand that you can get that allows you to change your outfit really quick, so that's fun. Sahara makes a comeback. Daisy May is the new, I guess, spiritual successor to Joan, which is interesting about the whole stock market, and the stock market is a great way to make a quick bell, and I can't wait to do that on my live streams. So Kix also makes an appearance. Very happy about that. This guy, the spring fishing tourney, this guy's pretty new. CJ, he replaced the other dude, and Flick replaced another guy. So he's going to be taking over the bug off now, which is also new. So it talks about free updates. Now, what happens over here is another interesting thing that you may not have realized, but In the world of Animal Crossing, there are people that choose to time travel, meaning adjusting their system settings to go to Halloween, for example, or to Thanksgiving, or to springtime, Easter, or Christmas, or Mardi Gras, or Carnival, or Festival, whatever you want. Time traveling of adjusting your system date and time to go to those things rather than waiting for in real is a thing. You know what? There's nothing wrong with it. I don't, in my opinion. Everyone plays Animal Crossing differently. But this is interesting because these are free updates. And this is saying that in the I would presume in the first year of launch of Animal Crossing, you are going to wait until the game updates in order for you to get these particular events. Interesting, right? So it tells people, hey, maybe time traveling is not necessarily going to be supported for the holidays. So yeah, I'm very curious about that. You can see that you can get a ladder to climb up and take some shortcuts. Very happy about that. But anyway, so the limited events were pretty much Franklin for Thanksgiving, Jack for Halloween, Zipper for Easter, Jingle for Christmas, and Pave for Mardi Gras, Carnival, Festival. So that's kind of interesting. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot more. But anyway, moving on to Nook Inc. over here, you guys can see that there's tons of different build options, and they cost a pretty penny to change this stuff. So I can only imagine that these are going to be aesthetics at the end game, because if you take a look at it, your first loan for your house is gonna be 98,000. These are like clearly double that. So very interesting to see how that's going to be put in play a little bit later on. But adding a staircase is pretty great rather than using a ladder every single time. Other than that, you have the island designer. This is game changing too, guys. You're going to be able to build paths everywhere. That's kind of great. Put patterns on the ground if you want to, but waterscaping, you can absolutely throw a whole bunch of new dirt. You can go landscaping. You can carve things out, just like Minecraft and like Dragon Quest Builders over here. So they're truly taking a page from those crafty kind of games. So that's going to be insane. You can customize your level, your entire world, however you want to with island crafting. That's so insane. So you guys can see over here just different showcases of what you can do. You can put all your animals inside your house. You can just craft wherever you want and just move. So happy birthday. Of course, birthdays are celebrated. You can see even more things. So there's a lot going on over here. Take some pictures, hold a tuna. There's a lot. But wait, there's more, right? There's the part 3, which is going to be the frequently asked questions. But trust me, there's so many unanswered questions in this game, and I cannot wait to find out the answers to all of them. So we're going to talk about them right now. So here we go. Frequently asked questions are going to go over a couple things, but not everything. And I'll leave you guys in the comments. Can you play this game together with my family on a single Switch? Yes. Thanks for paying attention. We already talked about this. You have one island on your Nintendo Switch with up to 8 players. You can do 4 players simultaneously. That's it. So that's how the game works. Does the game support Amiibo? Oh, absolutely it does. All the Amiibo that have been collecting dust, all those Amiibo cards that you spent hundreds of dollars on, they will be used, and you can use them to summon certain characters in. If you have your favorite villager's Animal Crossing Amiibo card, you can tap them in, and you can have them in your game. Thank goodness, that is amazing. But some of them aren't activated yet. Like DJ KK, for some example, he's not activated, and maybe they're going to save him for some in-game event. I don't know, but it's interesting. So, can you have any more information about inviting friends? Now, this is great. I love this access because you can invite all your friends over, which are friends that you designate within the game, or you can invite via a dodo code. And a dodo code is going to be a randomly generated code that you can use right over here, 5 digits. You can share with anyone. Like, let's say, for example, I'm doing a live stream and I want viewers to come on board. Here's my dodo code. The first 8 people come on in, first come, first serve. Let's hang out, kind of a deal. And that's amazing. That's amazing. So I don't have to manually go over here and add this person onto my Nintendo Switch and add this person and that person and that person, which is so time consuming. They've given a little temporary code. So I can share that code to members, I can share it to viewers, and then everyone could just come on over and just play. Now, one of the main concerns of previous Animal Crossing games is inviting friends on over, and then, or people over randomly, and then they're going to cut down all your trees, they're going to dig up all your stumps, they're going to plant pitfalls and stuff like that. Now you can protect against that simply by only designating people that are best friends. That's so cool. So if you're coming over to my town, you are going to be banned from using the axe and the shovel until I let you. Now, I wish they'd take it a step further that we can like kind of ban them from like taking flowers or some other stuff. I wish there was a little bit more options for that, but that's not the case. So best friends on the island right over here. So you can go best friends list. You can absolutely designate all these people as best friends, and then you can trust them to say, hey, you know what? You're my best friend now. Feel free to use any axes or any shovels so that we can landscape this stuff. What if you lose your save data? That's a big thing that some people are curious about. Now it says in case of a defective or lost console, you can indeed. It'll allow you to hold on. I've got to actually cover this. It will allow you to recover it in the future. Now, cloud save is not available, but this is a thing. But there's some small fine print that you may have missed over here. It says Nintendo Switch Online members can only have save data recovered one time due to loss or damage of system, which is pretty interesting. So keep that in mind. I don't know how often that's going to come up with people like, oh, I lost my Nintendo Switch. I want my save file back. And then they'll do it for you once. But like, can people necessarily abuse that? And what would they abuse it for? But anyway, so the service will allow you to recover your backed up saves from a server. So that's interesting. I mean, they're not going to pay out millions of dollars for server space to hold on to every single person's stuff. I don't think they're going to do that, which is interesting. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about it. Will there be a special themed system? Absolutely. You can get the custom themed Joy-Con controllers. They look really cool. The Joy-Con straps look great, and the brand new one. So I'm curious. I believe in Japan they may be selling the Joy-Con controllers separately, so maybe time to import. Free updates, in case you guys weren't paying attention, there are absolutely going to be free updates with all of these holiday characters so that you can't time travel over to them, which is really interesting to me. So anyway, first update is going to be a day one DLC where you're going to get it for free, and you guys can do the Zipper Easter event. Now, if you guys are fans of Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, they're giving you like a whole bunch of different items that you guys can get, and there's no transferability of items between the two games. So Animal Crossing Pocket Camp and the Nintendo Switch version have no connectivity outside of, hey, you know what? Here's a couple new things that you can craft, or we're going to give you some new things to coincide the launch. So I know some people are not so happy about that, but anyway, what can you do? So you guys can follow them on Twitter, they're talking about, and that is it. That is absolutely it. Tom Nook teases you one extra thing. After this presentation, there's going to be a demo available. No, I'm kidding. There's not a demo available, but you can go follow them on Animal Crossing for more updates. So guys, that's it. What did you guys think? That was the Animal Crossing Direct in about 20 minutes or so. Did you guys learn anything new? Did we miss anything? Let me know in the comments, but that was our analysis and review summary of the Animal Crossing Direct. Are you guys excited? Do you guys have unanswered questions? I know I asked some of you guys on Twitter about some unanswered questions, and some of you guys are asking them. Like, for example, let's see, who asks? Here we go. I'll actually put this up. Okay. As a newcomer to Animal Crossing, how important will Amiibo be to gameplay? Well, it's not that important. Let's take a look at some other ones. Will they sell Amiibo cards again? It's possible. Will there be Brewster in a coffee shop? I wish Brewster's there. That would be so cool. Maybe at a later time. Are Animal Crossing Joy-Cons coming to the US? Maybe. Can the Nook store be upgraded like in past games? And will the club return from New Leaf? That's right. Need to know where we can see KK Slider perform. That's right. That's not even told to us. How can you join the Discord group? Discord.gg/Abdallah. It's easy. Let's see. Will these special themed animals be back, like the Zelda, Splatoon, Hello Kitty, and Monster Hunter ones? That would be awesome. I kind of want to find out where all the Nintendo gear is. Remember the R-Wing that would play like the little R-Wing tune, or the coin block? Yeah. Do you faint from being stung by a wasp or bee? Yeah, that's right. I don't know. What happens with that? Can you use other Amiibo other than the Animal Crossing ones? What's that functionality? What happens when I scan in the Mario Amiibo? Will I get a Mario hat? What villagers will be available at launch? What is Animal Crossing? What's the backup solution? Where is Pete? And that's pretty much it. So I asked that to you guys on Twitter. Those are the Twitter responses. There's so many unanswered questions, but that's okay because we had a fun time analyzing the Animal Crossing Direct. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Did you guys notice something that I missed? Let me know in the comments. Can't wait to hear from you guys in the comment section below. But that's it. Look forward to me playing Animal Crossing the day of. I cannot wait to play this game with you guys online. Oh my gosh, we're going to host this game and we're going to complete that museum. We're going to get every single fish, every single fossil, all that stuff. It's going to be amazing. So make sure you guys are all subscribed and turn on notifications. Of course, join our Discord. We've got a channel dedicated to Animal Crossing, so do that. Link is right over there in the corner. And other than that, I'm looking forward to seeing all the comments that you guys have. Cannot wait to play this game. I hope you guys feel the same. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.